In many cases, it may be necessary to transport personnel or equipment up a vertical surface. For this reason, the Rangers are taught the use of a vertical haul line. This consists of a heavy A-frame constructed and lashed together at the top of the cliff, with sufficient climbing rope, of course, to reach the bottom. The ends of the rope run through a snap link or a pulley in this case and are tied together, forming what is known as an endless rope. At opposite extremes of the rope, 2 butterfly knots are tied. The ranger may now engage his snap link to one of the butterfly knots, then climb the knotted rope, which also extends from the top of the tower. You will notice the ranger is assisted by several other rangers positioned at the bottom who will pull the endless rope. Also, as he climbs toward the top, the second knot comes toward the bottom, which will enable a second ranger to attach his snap link and also climb toward the top. Also, another type of rappel is the Australian rappel. This rappel allows the ranger to observe within his direction of descent. You will notice in this case, the ranger is utilizing his left hand as his brake hand. This will enable him freedom to fire the weapon should it be necessary during his descent. In the event that a soldier is slightly wounded and a litter is not available, a method of evacuation is taught to the rangers. This technique is called the piggyback rappel. The patient is secured to the rappeller by means of a utility rope. As the term implies, he merely rides piggyback fashion down the surface of the cliff. The rappel in this case is also utilizing the seat hip rappel. As you also notice, a belay line extends from the patient to the top of the tower. The belay in this case does not control their rate of descent. The belay line is utilized to arrest movement only in case of an emergency. As you also recall, all the rangers gave the command on rappel just prior to descending, then off rappel once touching down and clearing the ropes. The command on rappel means that the ranger is preparing to descend and for everyone below to be on the lookout for falling rocks or debris. The command off rappel means that the ranger has now touched down and cleared the ropes. The next ranger can now begin his descent. We have also learned through experience that rappelling from a cliff or a fixed installation such as this is not the only type of rappel that a ranger should be proficient in. Because a helicopter cannot land in various types of terrain, rappelling may be necessary to insert members of a ranger patrol. In fact, rappelling from a moving or hovering platform such as this requires the same basic technique and equipment as demonstrated here on the tower. Normally, to utilize this method of insertion, we will use a UH-1H Army helicopter. Its allowable cargo load is 6 personnel. If you will direct your attention to your right front, you will observe this helicopter approaching the demonstration area. The first action that you will observe will be the aircraft commander attempting to stabilize his aircraft over the target area. The target area in this case is a sandy bar area on the far side of Victory Pond. Once the aircraft is stabilized, sandbags will be thrown from it. Attached to these sandbags will be the rappel rope. Sandbags are utilized to prevent the ropes from being entangled underneath the aircraft. And as you notice, once the ropes were deployed, the Rangers began their descent. These Rangers are also utilized as a seat belt rappel. Because a ranger is highly skilled, will be called upon for hazardous missions, various climates and terrains. Special exfiltration techniques have been devised to ensure that this man is available for future missions. One of these techniques is to lift the ranger out of an area, utilizing the stayboat rig and the UH-18 Huey helicopter. Stayboat rig was developed for jungle swamp-type terrain, or any area that's inaccessible for landing. Some examples of these areas is built-up areas or the thick wooded area on the far side of Victory Pond to your left front. You will observe this area. We will now show you a demonstration of this exfiltration technique. Helicopter would now fly across your front so that you can get a closer look at the technique. The stayboat rig consists of a modified T-10 parachute harness, special webbing and D-ring. Because of the vulnerability of the aircraft and the Ranger, various means of fire support may be utilized during the mission. Some of these may be artillery, UH-1G Cobra helicopter, tactical air support. Also, another technique taught to the Rangers is that of small boat operation in both inland waterways and coastal main lines. The size of these boats may vary. One example being the RBR-7, which is located to your left front. This boat is capable of transporting 7 fully equipped Rangers, and it's used extensively during your Florida phase of training. Also, it is a requirement that the students negotiate various confidence tests, the first of these being the suspension traverse, which was demonstrated earlier during the demonstration. Army engineers estimate that a speed up to 50 miles per hour may be obtained while negotiating the suspension traverse. Also, it is a requirement that before the students negotiate these tests, they must first be demonstrated by a Ranger qualified instructor. Today, Sergeant Finan will demonstrate the log walk rope drop. This consists of climbing the vertical ladder and walking the horizontal log. Of course, negotiating the obstacle step as he goes. Once on the far side, the Ranger will mount the rope and utilizing a combination of the commando crawl and the monkey crawl, he will crawl out to the Ranger tail. There he will hang free and request permission to drop some 40 feet below into the water.
Sergeant, Ranger Finan requests permission to drop.
Drop, Ranger.
The training knowledge received here at Ranger School and other schools have developed an individual who is capable of being an instructor, a trainer, and a leader of small units. He has mastered the skills of exfiltration, infiltration, demolition, hand-to-hand combat, escape, evasion, and resistance. He is the epitome of the infantryman, the finest soldier in the world. If you have seen from this demonstration, a man is capable of appearing from any place at any given time. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Ranger in Action demonstration.